If you've ever wondered what it's like to cook and eat while caravanning full-time, then you're in the right place. Hi, we're Samantha and Tom, and we've been travelling with our two girls in this caravan for the past 2 years. In today's episode, we're taking you through a typical week of meals on the road. From grocery shopping and meal prepping, to what we eat, why we choose it, and how much it costs. Free! So let's get to the video. Hello everybody and welcome to Monday morning. Today we always do the same thing, and that is do a huge grocery shop, because this time of the week we are so empty in our fridge and freezer and pantry that it's kind of scary. So we've just finished up breakfast, which usually consists of either avocado with sourdough or porridge with some fruit, and that is because they just seem to be the easiest meals that I can prepare early on in the morning when everyone's yelling at me because they're hungry. And also we find that these meals keep us really full, so we are in luck with having a Woolworths here. That's my favourite grocery shop to go to. I just like to stick to a Woolworths because usually the aisles are pretty similar to each other, so it's not too hard to find what you're looking for. So I've already got my shopping list, and it includes all of our breakfasts, all of our lunches through the week, and then 3 meals that we cook as well. Yes, I only cook 3 meals in a week, and then the rest we have like a date night, pizza, Chinese, stuff like that. I'll explain all of that later. We mostly use our Thermomix for cooking these dinners, so it's really easy to just go through the app, and then that way we can try new recipes all the time, which is really exciting too. So let's go and get this shop over and done with.
Let's go.
One of our favourite things about Woolies is that they have the free fruit for kids. So these two will eat an apple while we're shopping. Honestly, we've been doing this apple trick every single Monday for years, ever since Mila could kind of eat an apple as a baby. And it works because it keeps them so busy while I can do my shopping. It lasts for probably half the shop. How's your apples, girls? They're getting a bit more fuller. About halfway there, aren't we? We're all finished our shop, and I think it's time we play Let's Guess How Much This Is Going to Cost Us. A couple of extra supplies, but this is the usual. How much do you reckon it's going to cost us?
What does that mean?
How much is our groceries going to cost? Free? Free or 3?
Free.
Number 3. $3. Okay, Callie, how many do you think it is?
I don't know.
That's a good answer. I don't know either. Let's go find out. And now the fun part is trying to find a place for all these groceries in the boot of this car. And the chicken on top. We did it. Well, that was 412 Australian dollars, and that's pretty typical for a full grocery shop for us. And obviously we still spend more money than that on food each week because we still eat out on weekends. So it adds up to be around $800 that we spend on food every week. It's always such a good feeling to have our groceries done for the week though. And now I get to go and pack my fridge up to make it nice and full again. For some reason, I feel quite stressed when my fridge is empty. I think it's also because Callie has so many food intolerances and stuff. So I get a bit stressed out when she doesn't have her food that she needs on us at all times. So let's go home and fill up this fridge.
Mommy, pick it. I can't believe I'm just coloring it.
Now that we've got these inside, let's unpack them. One of the things I've been struggling to find lately is eggs. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but it's been such a mission to find them. So I was pretty stoked to see a full shelf of eggs available at this Woolies. Obviously, compared to a normal house, our fridge is quite small. So it is funny to watch a normal family's week of food being shoved into this tiny fridge. But we've honestly never had a problem with not having enough space in it, but we are so close to having that problem every week. So this is what we were dealing with before our shop. This is pretty much it full, minus the lettuce, watermelon, and the chicken. I'll usually now prep our lunch stuff for the week. So that's pretty much getting everything into containers so it's easier to pull out every day to make some sandwiches. Don't mind this little acrobat up here. This is what she does for entertainment when she's bored. So the 3 meals I picked to cook this week, we've got a korma curry, and I'll be adding some tofu and vegetables to that one. And then I also found a new one to try out on the Cookadoo app. and that one is a Mediterranean vegetable bake. And then the last meal that I'll be cooking this week is a crispy tofu and broccoli with rice. We've had that one before and it's really nice. I really like picking meals that I can cook earlier in the day. That way I can cook dinner while Tom's still working in the morning, and then when it comes to the afternoon time and we're out exploring, we don't have to worry about being home in time to start prepping dinner. It just makes our days go a lot smoother. So before kids, I was never that big of a fan of doing one big shop in the week. I would just go every couple of days and get some stuff that I needed whenever I needed it. But now that we've got kids, it's so much easier for me to just go do one big shop. That way I just know that I've got everything I need for the week. And even if we do run out of some of the berries or something like that, Tom can stay in the car with the girls while I run in and get it. We also find that this keeps us eating better and healthier through the week as well. I don't know about you, but if I go into a shop in the afternoon and I'm hungry, I'll buy junk food because you just want something quick and easy because you're so hungry at the time. But when you shop only once a week, you don't have that option. And because I go on a Monday morning, it's not like I want unhealthy things anyway. So I'll always buy quite healthy stuff, which is always the better choice for us at the end of the week. Pretty much every day in the week we have sandwiches for lunch. That's just chicken and salad. And I like to prep as much as I can into containers before getting it out through the week to make the sandwiches that way. It just saves me a bit of time, and if we're running late because we were out on a hike or something, it's not that hard for me to just grab everything out and make a sandwich. So I just have these little containers that I just put everything in to keep in the fridge for the week. A little while ago, Tom and I were trying to figure out how we should eat our food and what we should eat. We tried out being vegan for a good 8 months or so, and as much as I did like that, I actually ended up getting quite sick because I was pregnant at the time with Mila and I was not eating properly. I just could not stomach tofu or beans and stuff while I was pregnant. So I was pretty much living off of like bread and noodles and stuff like that, which obviously isn't going to be very healthy, especially with a baby inside your belly. So I started eating meat again at that time, and I haven't really looked back since. But in saying that, we have gotten really good at making sure the meals we cook in the week are vegetarian, and that just helps us to minimize our meat intake. So what we really do have in the week is the chicken on our sandwiches. So along with us deciding that we were going to eat vegetarian meals through the week as we cook, we also decided to limit our sugar intake as well. So we started a tradition, and that is cheat day. Cheat day kind of runs over a 48-hour period rather than a 24-hour period. So that goes from Friday afternoon until Saturday night. So that's the time when we can have the things that we wanted to have in the week, but we weren't allowed. So on Friday nights, we always have pizza, preferably Domino's, and then we also will have like one of those Magnum dairy-free ice blocks as well. We were getting into a block of chocolate for a while there, but that was just leaving us not sleeping very well in the night, so we kind of stopped that one. And then that also means on a Saturday morning we can go out for breakfast, and that's when we usually would share like an Eggs Benedict or something like that, and it will usually have bacon on it, so that's a bit of a cheat as well. And then Saturday lunch is just usually whatever's in the town, whether it's a bakery or Guzman, KFC if it's a travel day. And then Saturday nights we'll either go out for dinner to a restaurant or we'll eat Chinese or something in the caravan. So we may go a little bit overboard for our cheat day or cheat days, but it's really helped us to not eat junk food through the week. In saying that, we have a bit of a problem when it comes to morning teas. If it is cold, which it was last week in the Blue Mountains, we'll usually visit cafes a little bit more than normal. But if it's hot like it is here, we don't really have the problem of wanting to go to cafes because it's too hot. You don't really want to have a hot drink or a donut or something like that. You just don't feel like it. So when it is colder, we do tend to venture towards the cafes a little bit more, also because it's just a cozy thing to do. But we'll try not to do it more than once a week, or if we do it a few times a week, we'll just try and share something at the cafe. Honestly, if I have junk food in the caravan, I will eat it. So we just make sure it's a rule that we just don't bring it in here. And it works the same for the kids. Mila doesn't really eat any bad snacks. The worst thing she'll have are these rice cakes with chocolate yogurt coating on them. That's literally the worst thing she'll eat in the caravan. So now we've got all of our lunch prep for the week, we can now make lunch for today. So me, Tom and Mila will all have chicken and salad sandwiches, and then Callie will usually have a bit of meat with some veggies and fruit and stuff like that. But I better get going because it's getting a bit late. Normally in the afternoons, I'm not actually here in the kitchen. I'm usually out exploring with the kids and Tom. But today, Tom has actually taken them out to the beach and the playground for me. So that means I get to do some food prepping here because I have a lot to do on a Monday and I haven't even made dinner yet. So that's what we're gonna get started on. I was gonna do the Mediterranean veggie bake, but I really felt like the korma curry tonight, so I'll cook that one instead. While I am talking about the things we used to cook, we actually got rid of our oven inside the caravan when we had our caravan built. The main reason for that was when we were living in a caravan before before this one for 4 months, we'd never cooked inside. We actually may have lived off of microwave meals for that time because we couldn't cook while the kids were asleep inside, which is slightly embarrassing. But I did use the oven inside 1 or 2 times in that 4 months, and I just did not like using it. It heated up the entire caravan. It made it so hot and steamy inside. So I decided in that moment I was not having an oven inside the caravan. I was thinking maybe we would just use a barbecue like most people do when they're caravanning, but instead I found a smart oven because I also wanted to bring an air fryer. This smart oven can bake, do pizzas, slow cook, and it can also obviously do the air frying. So that's why I bought this one, and it fits so perfectly on the table outside, and it never heats up inside the caravan. But I found that I use the air fryer a lot for Callie's meats that she can eat, and also baking her some potatoes and carrots and stuff like that. It just feels a lot easier for me, and I do have to cook her steaks every 2 or 3 days, so I can keep on top of it rather than having to pull out the induction cooktop all the time, which of course does then bring me to the induction cooktop. This is another thing I learned that I did not like when we were living in the other caravan for 4 months. The kitchen in that Jayco caravan was really small, so I struggled to fit anything on the bench top. That was also when I decided I wasn't having a stovetop in the caravan, and instead I've got this induction cooktop that I use. You just plug it in and turn it onto the setting, and it heats up really quick, which I love because it makes cooking a lot quicker. I'll probably use it once or twice a month. I only ever have to use this induction cooktop when I can't cook in the Thermomix or the smart oven. I really try and prioritize using those 2 appliances because they're just easier for me. They're easier to cook in, they're easier to clean up, and they don't take up any extra space because they're always out anyway. Whereas this induction cooktop has to come out of the cupboard, which is really tricky to get to, and it obviously takes up extra bench space because there's not a space for it, and it doesn't always have a home here. But I wouldn't not pack it because it has been handy sometimes, and it is ironic because I will be using it today to cook my korma curry. And then of course we've got the Thermomix, and I just love that thing. I never had a Thermomix before moving into the caravan, and I bought this one secondhand on Facebook Marketplace because I was a little bit nervous that I wouldn't like it or I wouldn't enjoy using it, but oh my god, it has had some use since I bought this thing. I use it honestly probably at least once a day. That's because I always need to boil eggs for Callie, I need to steam rice for Callie, and then I can also steam her veggies in there as well. It's so easy to use for things like that because I'm constantly cooking for her because she can't eat packaged foods or anything like that. I don't regret not having an oven or a stove in the caravan. It's been so good the way we cook, and power is never a problem for us because we always stay in caravan parks. We never go off grid. But let's get to making this curry. Some of our favourite meals that we cook in the caravan are definitely okonomiyaki, laksa, red curry, basically just a lot of Asian food we really love. And it's so good using the Thermomix for those recipes. I used to make my korma curry without butternut pumpkin, and then one day I just added it because I had some pumpkin left in the fridge that I needed to use, and it made the curry so much creamier and it was so yummy, and now I've done it ever since. So to go over our eating routine for the whole week, pretty much Monday, Tuesday and Thursdays are our cooking at home days. That's when we'll cook our 3 vegetarian meals, whether it's in the Thermomix, the induction cooktop or the smart oven. Wednesday night is date night. Tom and I used to go out on a date on our own and leave the kids with grandparents, but since we've been traveling full time we can't leave them anymore, which is fine. They come along with us and we have a family date night instead. Friday nights, like I mentioned before, is always pizza night, so that's Domino's if they have it in the town we're staying. Otherwise it's just the next best pizza that we can find. And then Saturday and Sunday mornings we always go out for breakfast at a cafe. Saturday lunch, like I mentioned before, is usually whatever we're doing that day, whether it's a bakery, KFC because we're driving, or fish and chips at the beach if we feel like it. Sunday lunch we try and eat something at home. We'll usually get some pre-packaged soups from Woolies when we're doing our shop, just because by then you're a little bit sick of eating out and you don't want to ruin your appetite for Sunday dinner, because Sunday dinner is either Chinese if we didn't have it on Saturday, or Thai food or something like that we really enjoy. But we've been sticking to that food routine for quite a while now, like at least the 2 years we've been traveling. And honestly, our kids are growing up to really enjoy eating out as well. Mila is so good at trying new foods. We're always impressed with how much food she tries when we're out eating different things. She really surprised us in Paris where she tried sardines and snails.
And this?
This one's the snails.
That's a snail?
Yeah. Looks so delicious. What do you think?
No.
So she's a very brave eater. Callie would love to eat all the things Mila does, and it's really sad not being able to give her all the things that she wants, but hopefully in time her gut health improves and she can eat more things as she gets older. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching our little video about what we eat in a week while living in a caravan and traveling full time. Let me know if you think you'd struggle cooking in a tiny kitchen, or even let me know your go-to meals while traveling with your family. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that like button. It'll help us to reach a wider audience. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you'll see us again next week. Thanks so much for watching, guys.